At this time, Mr. Speaker, I will yield such time as he may consume to the distinguished ranking member of our full committee, Mr. Waxman from California.
The gentleman from California is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of this bipartisan bill to amend the Consumer Product Safety Improvement Act of 2008. The 2008 Act was an historic piece of legislation, both because of the landmark health and safety protections in that bill for young children and because of the near unanimous support for that legislation from Democrats and Republicans. And it has been a success. Because of the Consumer Product Safety Act, we now have in place basic safety standards for keeping toxic lead and phthalates out of children's products. The CPSC has made long overdue revisions to safety standards for cribs. Manufacturers and retailers have begun the process of testing to make sure children's products are proven safe before they've been put on the store shelves and into the hands of children. The Consumer Product Safety Commission, after years of atrophy due to budget cuts and neglect, has been reinvigorated and become proactive rather than reactive. As a result, we've seen a decline in the number of children's products that have to be pulled from homes and store shelves. The agency is intercepting more dangerous products at the border. And finally, the American public has, since March, had access to consumer product safety information in a database that they can review about injuries from consumer products. Consumers now have free and open access to information that for too long remained hidden inside the CPSC. But like any law, the 2008 Act had some rough edges that needed to be smoothed out. For example, there are some products that require a small amount of lead to maintain their strength and durability and don't pose a serious threat to public health or safety. ATVs and bicycles are examples of these. Some businesses express concern that they could find themselves with inventory that meets the current legal limit of 300 parts per million that can no longer be sold when the limit drops to 100 parts per million on August 14th, just 2 weeks away. The smallest of small businesses are worried that they can't bear the costs of complying with these requirements in the way that larger businesses can. This bill addresses these concerns without jeopardizing our children's safety. It is a compromise bill in the best sense. Some members on the other side wanted bigger changes to the 2000 Act, and some members on our side do not believe every provision in this bill is needed. But thanks to the hard work of my colleagues, Ms. Bono Mack, Mr. Butterfield, Mr. Barton, and Mr. Dingell, and the leadership of Chairman Upton, we have arrived at a bill that I can support and urge my colleagues to join in supporting as well. I think we have struck the right balance. We fix valid problems and keep in place valuable health and safety protections for children. That has been my primary goal throughout this process. It was a long road to get to this place, and after many hours and many months of tough negotiating, what we have here is a compromise that epitomizes bipartisanship. Neither side got everything it wanted, but both sides gave up enough that we were able to come up with something that was sensible and reasonable and that we can move quickly through this body. I hope the Senate sees it that way and can move quickly on this bill. We all share the belief that American businesses should be able to grow and flourish. I also think we all share the belief that consumers, especially children, deserve safe products. Again, I commend Chairman Bono Mack and Chairman Upton for their willingness to hear us out and to work with us. I thank Mr. Butterfield for fighting for a balanced approach that keeps small and large businesses competitive and continues to keep our children safe from potentially dangerous products. I also want to thank the other members of the Energy and Commerce Committee that have been active and helped us to get to today, including Mr. Dingell, Mr. Rush, Ms. Schakowsky, Mr. Markey, Mr. Towns, Ms. DeGette, and Ms. Eshoo. I want to yield back the time to...
The gentleman yields back.